Well, it's a new era at Liverpool this season, and former Liverpool midfielder John Barnes told us it's vital fans back Arne Slot, no matter how they begin the season. Slot replacing Jurgen Klopp. He's Liverpool's first new manager in 9 years.
The challenge is for the players to be as respectful and as attentive and as subservient to Arne Slot as they were to Jurgen Klopp. That's what happened at Man United when David Moyes came, because the players kind of like relaxed. That one happened when Arsene Wenger left. So it is understandable, but I think that is the biggest challenge, because the fans will be there, and it's also for the fans. Once again, this has got nothing to do with black and white. However, if we lose the first two matches, are they going to say, oh, if Jurgen was here, it would have been different? So it's for the fans and the players to come together to then say, yes, we support this situation, even if it doesn't go well to begin with. So that for me is the biggest challenge. If the fans are going to back Arne Slot, the players have to respond. If they lose the game and the fans start to boo the players instead of the manager, the players will respond. Because as with anything else, if the question is, if we lose today, who are they going to boo? And as long as the answer is we're going to boo the manager, the players absolve themselves of responsibility. Subconsciously, once again, I never accuse any player of not trying. But you go through it when you know, well, if you don't lose today and he runs past me and scores, they're going to blame the manager. I don't have to do that. Whereas if they know they're going to get blamed, that's what they'll do. So once again, it is up to the fans to give 100% support to Arne Slot, and the players will follow.
Barnes also praised the job that Gareth Southgate did as England manager, and he told us who he thinks should replace him.
Graham Potter. That's what he did at Brighton. Graham Potter. Listen, if you talk about creating an identity and a system of play, all you need the examples are Guardiola and Klopp. Completely different style players, equally as good. He wants hard-working midfield players, he wants more technical players, but every player has to understand their role within the team. He didn't just say, let's pick the best players. See, that's what Man United are doing. Who's the best player? Let's sign him for 80 million, sign him with no plan of how they're going to fit together. There's only one ball, so you can't have too many ball players in the team. I think that Graham Potter could, but the problem he will then have is that being English and being the manager of England, what we demand as a press and as a country is to have the best players. So then they'll say, well, why isn't he not playing? Why is he not playing? And unless you're going to win by doing that and being given time to do that, and maybe pick players from other clubs who will fit into your system, but they're not the best players, he will be under pressure. So I suppose from an England perspective, the England manager always has to be just seen to be picking the best players, because then at least if we lose, you can say to the fans, well, you know, these are the best players. That's what you wanted. You wanted him in the squad, you know. So that Spain team was an incredible team, but if you look at them individually, they weren't great.
Do you think that would go against his kind of philosophy, though, Potter, by picking the best players when he's more of a...
Well, that's the thing, you see. So then you'll ask who would do that. Then you're talking about Eddie Howe. Secondly, whoever else you're looking at, unless they're going to pay them 5 times what the England manager's earning, Jurgen Klopp and Guardiola and people like that aren't going to do it. So we have to then be realistic in terms of what we want. And once again, as I said about Liverpool, that if the manager... The hardest thing for the manager is for the fans to accept him and for the fans to put the pressure on to support him, whatever decision he makes. England's the same. So if Potter gets a job and he says, I'm not going to play Jude Bellingham in that position, I'm going to say play as a more defensive midfield player alongside Rice or Phil Foden to be more responsible, we have to accept that. And even if it doesn't work at first, we either accept it or we don't have him. But the problem is we're very quick to dismiss.